Hello, my name is DJ Kozar, and today I'm going to be talking about the types of workouts and the benefits to those workouts. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to hit on every single type of workout because there's just too many for me to hit on in this time frame, but I'm going to try to hit the ones that I think are the most important and the most common seen around. So, first off, we're going to get into strength training. Now, this is something that you're going to see most often when you go in the gyms. It's your bench press, your squat, all this kind of stuff, your weightlifting. And it also includes your body weight training, so with no equipment, and then powerlifting and Olympic lifting as well. And another name for it is resistance training. Now, weightlifting has a couple benefits. Mainly, it increases your muscle. That's the big one. That's why people lift weights, along with some of the mental effects, but it increases your muscle, your metabolism gets better, and it also strengthens your bones. And a few examples of these are bench, squat, deadlift, bicep curl, overhead press, and barbell row, which we're going to get into here. So the bench press is probably one of the most commonly known lifts in the community, in the weightlifting community. It works out your chest, your triceps, and then some of your shoulders. I have that it hits the anterior delts here. That's from a Notre Dame research study. Your anterior delts are going to be right here in your shoulder. And so I have the graphic here. You pick up the bar, bring it down your chest, and you press up. Next, we're going to go into the squat, which is another one of the more commonly known ones. You pick up the barbell on your back. You want to kind of keep it like behind your traps, but in front of your shoulder, like in that area. Then you're just going to squat down and stand back up. You want to make sure you keep your back straight, though, to prevent injury. This is one that you could get injured on, but this is good for all your leg muscles, really, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes, your calves, and then also hit your core, so your abs, because you're tensing up your abs when you go down and come back up. Next, we got to have the deadlift, which you basically just grab a hold of the bar like it shows in the explanation, or in the graphic, I should say. You grab the bar and you stand up with the bar in your hands, and then you take it back down. This is another one where you don't want to bend your back at all. You want to keep your back mainly straight, because that could really do some injury since you have a lot of weight on there, depending on how much you're lifting. But it doesn't even matter how much weight you have on. It's a compound lift, and it activates a lot of different muscles. As you can see in the graphic, his traps are being hit, his abs, and then also his leg muscles, his quads, his hamstrings, glutes. So it hits a lot of different things. This is a really good exercise. Next is the overhead press, also known as the military press or the shoulder press. Now, in the graphic, I have him doing dumbbell overhead press, but you can also use a barbell for this exercise. You'd just be holding it in front of your head instead of to the side like he is doing in the graphic. But in the graphic, he's holding it beside his head, and then he's going to push up. It's really going to hit all your shoulder muscles. So your side delts, your rear delts, just your whole shoulder, somewhat of your traps as well, not as much. And then they might hit a little bit of tricep and chest. Next, and this is going to finish off what's called the Big Five. It's the barbell row. The bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press, and barbell row all make up the Big Five, which is basically like the five most common or biggest lifts, I guess. So to do this, you're going to pick up the barbell like it's a deadlift, but you're not going to like pick it all the way up. I guess you could, but you want to hinge your hips really and then lean forward, and then you just want to row the bar up to about your belly button area, maybe a little higher, a little lower, depending on your height and your wingspan. But you want to row it up to your stomach, and that's going to be really good for your back. It's going to hit your lats, your rhomboids, your traps, and your rear delts. So your lats are going to be these muscles right here. Your rhomboids are going to be this middle muscle in your back. And then your traps are going to be this right here, connecting to your neck and to your shoulder. And then your rear delts are going to be the back of the shoulder. Finally, the last example I have are the bicep curls. Now, there are plenty of different variations of bicep curls. You can do something like he's doing in the example. He's just doing a standard standing dumbbell bicep curl. And, of course, it's going to target your biceps. So what he's doing here is he has the dumbbells to the side, And he's going to pick it up, and you want to squeeze right here, your bicep. You want to make sure you feel a squeeze, and then take it back down, and then just do repeated sets there. Now, there are some other variations of curls that can target your forearms as well. This one's only going to hit the biceps really, but if you were to turn the dumbbells around and swing it up like this and like this, that would be good for your forearm. And you don't want to sway your body when you're doing curls, because it would get you some extra momentum, so you're not really hitting as much of your bicep, you're just swinging it. It's kind of called ego lifting, that's what people call it. If you're lifting more than your muscle can actually do, you're swinging something, you don't want to do that, because that could also cause injury. Now there's also body weight training, which is different than the standard strength training, or the weight training I should say, because you don't need any equipment for this, which is one of the benefits. You can do stuff like push-ups, like squats, pull-ups, plank, or lunges. You can do all 5 of those with no equipment, really. I mean, I guess to do pull-ups you need a little bit of equipment, but you can do all 5 of these at your house. Go out and find a tree or something like that. These also benefit you by building your functional strength and improving your endurance as well. I personally like doing a lot of push-ups. Sometimes I push out like 100 push-ups before I go to bed, or 100 during the day, or sometimes even more than that. I think I've done 200 in a day at work before, or something like that. So I love doing push-ups. Then lastly, I kind of combine these last two, powerlifting and Olympic lifting, because they both kind of go into the same thing. Not completely, but the powerlifting is going to be like your maxing. So you're going to see how many or how much weight you can use for just one rep. So personally, I'll use me as an example again. My max bench, I just got it like last week or a couple weeks ago, is 195, which is not great, but I'd want it to be higher, but I'm not too mad considering I started lower than that just recently. My max has really improved recently, so that's a good thing. But like me doing that max bench is an example of powerlifting. Except like real powerlifters, they're doing like 300, 400, 500 on their max bench. So that's the real powerlifting. My max was just to see what I could do. But that's beside the point. And then the Olympic lifting is going to be like the hang clean, the jerk, and the snatch, which are going to be like quick movements that they develop speed and coordination and also explosive power. And they're just going to be quick movements with a lot of weight on it. Well, not even necessarily a lot of weight, just quick movements with weight. Then I'm also going to hit on these cardiovascular workouts, also known as cardio. It improves your heart health, obviously. And then it's also a really good method to burn fat and lose weight. It burns a lot of calories as well. That's why you can lose fat by doing it. It includes HIIT training, also known as high intensity interval training, MISS training, which is moderate intensity steady state, and then LISS training, which is low intensity steady state. And we'll get into those right now. So HIIT training is short bursts of strong or explosive exercises followed by a brief rest period until you're fatigued or tired. So when I do this, I usually like doing it biking. I'll get on like a bike at the gym or something, and I'll do 20 seconds hard, like real hard. I'll try to go 25 to 30 miles an hour, and then for the next 40 seconds, I'll go slow, like barely moving, but still staying active, just not going fast at all. You can also do this with running. You can do 20 seconds sprinting, going as hard as you can, almost as hard as you can, and then 40 seconds walking, and then right back to that sprinting and walking. It boosts your metabolism, increases your strength and your muscle size, your lower body especially, and this is a really good thing to do to burn some calories quickly. Then you could do your MISS training, which is kind of in the middle. You're not getting your heart rate spiked like the HIIT training, but you're also not just walking or something. So you have to get your heart rate to a rate of around 140 to 160 beats per minute to do this. And an example would be like jogging or elliptical or doing the Stairmaster, which has become more popular recently. These also boost your metabolism, also improve your strength, and also increases your muscle size. So again, another good form of cardio to do. Then lastly, we have your LISS training, which causes a heart rate of around 100 to 130 beats per minute. So that's not quite your resting heart rate that you would see. It's a little bit higher, but it's including things like walking or bike riding, like just going on a chill bike ride or walk. It burns body fat. It also has a low recovery period because you're not pushing yourself as hard as you would in strength training or in that HIIT training. And it also calms your nervous system. I love going for walks. That's one of my favorite things to do, especially since it's getting nicer out. It's not nice right now. It's raining outside as I'm recording this, but walks are one of my favorite things to do because you burn your calories, you burn your fat, and you're staying active, but you're also not pushing yourself so hard that you're sore the next day. So your recovery is going to be a lot better. These are some of the resources that I use, my references. I use that Notre Dame educational page. I use Fitness Programmer. That's what I use for all the, I'll go back. All these like lifts that I showed are from Fitness Programmer. And then I use Healthline for the squats and the deadlift information about that. And I use MedExpress for all the cardio stuff. So yeah, thank you for listening.